Hello and welcome to another video. So today we are taking a look at a SwordCraft deck for rotation. I don't mind the SwordCraft decks for rotation so far, they seem to be okay. The Natura style isn't quite as pronounced in this variation, but still is usable, which is great. You don't need to go for super crazy Natura plays. Usually if you can just get one on board, you can do some interesting things, and that's always handy. Balion does it really well with the Forest Princess and the other type of cards in this deck. In particular, the Storm focus is huge with Swift Tigress and Forest Princess and the Balion spells. So you want to be able to take advantage of those as much as possible. So let's get right into it and take a look. The games may not be too impressive for the next few videos, as I've had some trouble getting into some decent games. It seems like everyone is just running straight up Dragon, Shadow, Forest variations, and I'm having a lot of trouble overcoming those with a lot of trial decks as we go through different variations. So I'm hoping I can at least try and get some decent games going here though. So kicking us off is a pretty decent hand here, the Katana Unsheathed, which is literally a quick blader, that's all it is, for anyone who doesn't know. Is a very nice way to open up a game. Unfortunately we don't have anything else going into turn 2. Which is awkward. Turn 3 could be okay, we have Usurping, which could potentially take out something the dragon plays, so that could be alright, but as it stands, unless they play a follower, we're really just pinging them for 1 damage every turn, up until at least turn 4 or 5, we can actually make some impact. It looks like we're finally going to get a chance to make a play here. Usurping Spineblade. Probably should have used the Gilded Necklace to get up my Quick Blader's attack, but I mean, this worked out pretty well. Single damage attacks seem to do alright. And it means our Quick Blader gets to stick around just a little longer. I suspect they would have went for the Evo trade if I had have used Gilded on it. Plus we get Sovereign Light now, which is great. Now ideally I would have had a Natura tree out, so I could have used King's Might and the Gilded together and we would have had a really nice Quick Blader attack there, but unfortunately, didn't quite go that way. We have, on the other hand though, got the Forest Princesses in our hands. We've definitely got some decent Storm potential. We just need to be able to take advantage of them. But for now, we're doing okay. I decided to get rid of the Natura tree. Probably not the right move, to be honest, because we're only going to spawn another one here. I should have just removed the follower instead and just left the tree up, since it would have served better chance and I wouldn't have had to use an Evo. That was definitely my mistake. Especially considering we now see Voldane come down. So we're not on the back foot yet, but this is definitely an awkward position to be in. Especially with more trees getting played. And a Raging Dragon as well. So we definitely got shot down pretty hard. Dragon unfortunately is quite powerful. They did end up conceding, which is interesting to me. Luckily, we had the princess and stuff anyway, so playing the princess out, boosting it up, we probably would have been pretty okay. That last game, though, yeah, they definitely had me on the ropes there. It could have went either way very easily, so I thought to include it since it was hard to get some decent games to begin with, so I've tried to include what I could. Most of the other games I'm losing super early in, which is why I don't like to show them off a lot of the time. Usually I will either concede or lose within the first 5 turns of a game if it goes poorly, especially with a deck like this, where the aggression in the deck is very important. If you're not winning by turn 5, turn 6 range, you're going to be struggling. Typically turn 7, turn 8, you can pull off a win pretty easily with this deck. You just need to not have an absolutely terrible hand, and we've got a pretty okay one here. We can actually go for another 3 damage, which is going to settle us in nicely, and we've still got the 2 ivory swords in our hand now, so potentially dealing with a bigger board isn't a problem.
It was nearly done.
So from here, I decided to just trade off a little bit and then go for ivory sword to clear the board out. And we get our great tree, which is good. I want to have a great tree on board at least, so having at least one of those out, definitely a good step. No Evos from the blood yet until now, so this is good. Of course they couldn't do it now, but seeing it go on to the bat, definitely worthwhile for us, especially since we still have an ivory sword dance. So a quick Evo and ivory swords dance will actually give us 6 damage to go to face with. Also, I haven't been too worried about setting my opponent to Vengeance lately. There aren't a lot of big Vengeance card blood can play this early in the game now. Other than, of course, Enraged Commander here as one of the better ones. But for the most part, usually it's not a big worry. Especially with this deck. So we can't go for our turn 6 yet. But we can at least try something here with the Great Trees. King's Welcome for another Aether. Ideally, I would have got Balion early. If you play Aether on 3, you get Balion on 4 normally, so that's what you want to aim for. Unfortunately, I didn't have my Aethers in the right turn, so I couldn't use those to my advantage, but we do our best with what we've got, I guess. So we're definitely going to take a little bit of damage here. I mean, it's not too much of a worry. We've still got the Champion Deadeye here. I can't unfortunately use Forest Princess because if they only have one follower, once Forest Princess comes down, technically you're one apiece. So it won't actually activate its effect. You need to have at least 2 enemy followers on board. So they gave the Fervor and the Fervor Storm. Definitely not the best cards for them to give Storm to. I was a little worried that they were going to be better followers, but fortunately that worked out fine. And now we've got an easy Princess play with an Evo point to go for lethal, which is most of the time what I like to aim for with this deck. It's very easy to do this. So the second game of the two was definitely one of the better ones. There are some really nice cards in this deck that I really quite enjoy. Adept Thief is actually okay. Getting Boots and Necklace is quite decent, especially Necklace. Of course, since we are aiming for buffing of the Swift Tigress or the Forest Princess, they are your 2 primary win condition cards as big storms, but you can, as you saw, chip in a lot of damage with other cards, use things like the boost from Ivory Sword Dance, or even just the boosting cards we're already getting to boost up things like Katana Unsheathed, which, again, is treated as Quick Blader, so you can only have one of it in the deck, as is, so that's fine. Hopefully guys did enjoy this video. If you did, you'll find the deck list in the description below. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Until next time guys, see ya.